Hey y'all, and welcome to my first quarterly goals update of 2019. I will link the intro either up in a card or down below, but let's just get started. So I finished a couple of makeup things this month, and I have neither of them with me right now. Because I finished the Naked Gloss, the Urban Decay gloss, just before I went on vacation for 2 weeks. So the trash has been taken out multiple times over since then. And then while I was on vacation in the UK, I used up the First Aid Beauty moisturizer. So I didn't want to keep carrying the weight around, so I threw it out while I was there. So let's just get into the rest of the makeup first. So first is the Origins face wash. This was pretty much full when I started this project, and I took this on vacation as well, and that's about where I am now. This is a guesstimate at this point. I think if I keep using it most days, I will be able to finish it by the end of February. It's really a thorough cleanser, and my skin really seems to respond well to it. So that's that. And then next is something I think I can also use up by the end of February, which is the Ulta Matte Face Primer. So that's where I am right now, and you can see it's sort of like, it's a lot of, there's not a ton of product left down there. So hopefully I will be able to finish that by the end of the month as well. Next up is the CoverGirl Natural Rose blush, and so this is what it looks like. There is a bit of a dip going, but not a whole ton of usage. Because I've depotted it, I wasn't able to take it on vacation with me, so that affected the usage as well. But I waited when I did my initial update, or my initial intro rather, and so initially when I filmed my introduction it was 17.77 grams, and now it is 15.23 grams. And there's about 3 grams total according to the back. Not sure how accurate that is because I've used almost 2 and there's still a ton of product left, but we'll see how that goes. Next is the NYX Pigment Primer. I did take this on vacation with me, and you can tell because it was pretty much full when I started, and there's where I am right now. So yeah, good progress on this. Still need to use it every day in order to get it used up, but that's what that is. This is something that I wasn't able to take on vacation. This is the Shiro If You've Got Enough Nerve eyeshadow that I've pressed into a little pan here. So I've expanded the pan a little bit, but not a whole ton. But again, I wasn't able to take it out of town for 2 weeks with me, so that affects things as well. And then this is the Tarte Clay Paint Eyeliner. I was able to take this on vacation with me, so that first one's where it started. This is where I am now. I probably won't finish it in February, but I'll probably will finish it in March. Next up is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Monte Carlo. I did take this out of town with me, but I did not wear it as much as I would have liked. It started, when I started it had 35 grams with the cap on, and now it has 34.5. And it's supposedly 8 mils in here, so still got a ways to go yet. But there's, you can easily layer the color, so it's not going to be a ton of work to get that used up. The next is the Cucumber Mint Lip Balm from Burt's Bees. When I initially started, it had 23.12 grams, and now it's 22 2.2, and there's 4 grams in here, apparently 4.25, so pretty good progress on that. So I am maybe a quarter of the way done. When I roll it down, my finger is about where it's at. I'm also doing the Magnolia Clementine Bath & Body Works lotion. I will leave a link to the Imgur album down below, because I usually keep that at work with me. And I film at home. It's hard to show the updates for that. So the Imgur link is going to be down below with the marking there. And then finally is the Elizabeth & James Nirvana Rose perfume. That's where the line is. I haven't used it as much as I could this past month, so I do need to step up on that quite a bit. So that's the makeup updates. For the literary updates, my goal is to read The Count of Monte Cristo, Jane Eyre, Neverwhere, and The Graveyard Book. And so far I've finished 0 of them. However, I did make quite a bit of progress on Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. It is a really good book, and I kind of wish I had read it more while I was in London, because a lot of it is set in London and has lots of nods to like the London Underground and the London, because it's one of those parallel world books where it's there's a London above and the London below, and because of that there's a lot of nods to like the London Underground, and the characters are like, Islington is an angel, and it's also a tube stop. There's also a tube stop called the Seven Sisters, and that's referenced as well. Hammersmith is one of the, I think it's the Green Line is Hammersmith in City, and Hammersmith is also at one of the markets there. Who's a actual smithy. So it's a lot of cool references, and I'm glad, in retrospect, I'm glad I read it on the plane more going home than coming, because for the first couple of days, I called Hammersmith in City the Green Line, because I was still trying to figure out the tube system. But yeah, it is a really good book. I'm going to try and finish that in the next couple of days, and then move on to the Graveyard Book, because that's going to be the next quickest read, I think. But yeah, I do need to start making more time to read in general, just to make sure I am able to finish all of those books in the next couple of months. So for yarn projects, I am trying to finish a crocheted scarf, a scarf made with alpaca wool, and my very first sweater. So this is the crocheted scarf. I'm almost done. My yarn needle went missing while I was trying to sew this up, so I did get yarn needles while in the UK, so now I should be able to get this sewn up, and hopefully, because I got it as a souvenir, I'll try and keep a better track of it, and it won't wander away. Does anyone else's yarn needles just wander away? Like, you put it down somewhere and then suddenly it's just missing? Because that happens to me more than I care to admit. But yeah, so this is almost done, barring the sewing up here, and it's just going to be a cowl that goes like that. Yeah, and so as of my last update, I was mostly done with one sleeve of my sweater, and then had to do another, and then I did a try-on test to see like where the sleeves were hitting and everything, and how much I actually needed to do, and check your gauge, kids, because I had been using needles that were slightly too big, and so my row gauge was a little bit too big, and so it hit, when you were done with the decreases, it was supposed to hit like right here, and it was like right there. So yeah, I took it out and broke my low by a little bit to get myself a set of smaller needles so I could actually get it smaller. So what I hopefully could have been done with it at least done with one sleeve and starting the next by the time I left, but instead I had to frog everything and go back to the beginning, which was absolutely no fun at all. So there's that, and then the alpaca scarf I've made a couple of rows of progress on, and this was my plain project, but I didn't work on it a ton while I was in the UK. So this is where it is, and I'm gonna be doing, so right now it's cream gray, and then there's gonna be red gray, and blue gray, and then black and gray. I have more of the gray skeins than, I have two gray skeins and one skein of every other color. So yeah, it's going on so far. Still got a long ways to go yet though, so there's that. And then for writing goals, my goal was to read a book called Not All Wives, which deals a lot with women in 18th century and being single women in the 18th century, which would affect my novel quite a bit, and I haven't made a ton of progress on that, mostly because I've been trying to read Neverwhere, and my other goal was to type up the handwritten draft I had, and I haven't made a ton of progress on that either. Now that I'm back home, I can step up both of those a little bit more. I was holding off a little bit, I think, just for panicking about packing and preparations for vacations and everything. So now that I'm back and I have more time, I'm going to dedicate more time to both of those. So that is my update for the quarterly project pen. Thank you for listening to me ramble for 12 minutes, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!